Hi, I'm Steve Kaplan. I'm the author of The Hidden Tools of Comedy, The Serious Business of Being Funny. I've recently come back from doing workshops and lectures in Ireland, London, and Munich. And what people asked me there was, is comedy universal? Will a comedy that we write in Ireland be understood in Germany? Will a comedy that we write in Munich be understood in America or Australia? And the one thing that's true about comedy is that comedy is universal because comedy is about people. Comedy is the art of telling the truth. And specifically, it's the art of telling the truth about people. Now, a lot of people think that comedy is about laughs, about doing something funny. And certainly, if you write a comedy and nobody's laughing, you're in a little bit of trouble. But there's a difference between comedy and funny. Funny is whatever makes you laugh. If you're laughing at it, to you, it's funny, period, end of story. On the other hand, if you're not laughing at it, no matter how learned a review in the New York Review of Books, no matter how many professors at the UFVA tell you this is funny, if you're not laughing at it, to you, it's not funny. But comedy is different. Comedy is what tells the truth about people. And what's true about all people. People are flawed, people make mistakes, and the ultimate flaw, of course, is our mortality. Art is the thing that takes our mortality and takes what's ephemeral and makes it immortal. I mean, because if we lived forever, there'd be no point in painting a picture of a waterfall or writing a poem about it, because eventually we'd see that waterfall. We'd have the thoughts of that poem in that particular meter and rhythm and rhyme. But because we don't live forever, art takes what's transient and makes it immortal. The dramatic artist takes a look at a man's death scene and says, look at this, a man has died, how sad. The comic artist takes a look at the same thing and says, look at this, a man has died, but look how he lived, how ridiculous. Because most people do not sit home weeping softly, writing haiku, even though they know somewhere in the back of their minds that they're doomed to die. As a race, as a species, we're all thinking about trying to make our lives as good as possible, even infinitesimally. A cup of espresso coffee, Haagen-Dazs ice cream, a good smoke of something, a dinner with a friend, anything we can do to make our lives better. And even though this won't solve our ultimate problem, it's what we'll do tomorrow and the day after that and the day after that. Because even though some of us may despair, some of us may sit home weeping softly, as a race, as a species, we're all about tomorrow. Comedy is the art of hope. It's the art of tomorrow. And so from this, we can draw a paradigm, what we call the comic equation. The comedy is about an ordinary guy or gal, Jackie Gleason used to call him a moke, struggling against insurmountable odds without many of the required tools and skills with which to win, yet never giving up hope. Let me repeat that. Ordinary guy or gal struggling against insurmountable odds, and what could be more insurmountable than our own demise, without many of the required tools and skills with which to win, yet never giving up hope. If you think about it, it's like it sounds like a description of a Woody Allen or Steve Martin or Billy Crystal movie. Now, from this equation, we can draw usable practical tools, what we call the hidden tools of comedy. The tool of winning. Comedy gives you the permission to win. The tool of metaphorical relationships. Beneath the surface relationship is a true, essential metaphorical relationship, what we call the comedy of perception. That comedy is not about us seeing a funny character, but it's about that character perceiving the world in their own particular way. The tool of straight line, wavy line, which is the idea that there is no such thing as a straight man in a comic. That's a false dynamic, but rather there's somebody who's blind to a situation or causing the troublesome situation, and somebody who's struggling with the situation, but because they're a non-hero, they can't solve it. Non-hero is the tool of somebody who isn't a ridiculous clown, but simply somebody who lacks some if not all, the required skills and tools with which to win. And finally, comic premise, the tool to create comic stories, comic narratives. Comic premise is the lie that tells the truth, an impossible or implausible thing that could never happen, or probably would never happen. But if it did happen, what would happen then? And then you develop that idea honestly and organically through character and theme. And that's what the book's about.